I recently found a three-piece Art Deco set on Facebook Marketplace. I don't normally refinish anything but mid-century pieces, but the wood looked crazy nice on this set, and the whole set was selling for $250, and I was looking for a mid-century piece to refinish and couldn't find anything I liked, so I decided just to snatch this up and give it a try. I was told by the owner that the set was 80 years old and bought brand new in Canada when her parents first moved here from England. There was a tall boy, a four-door dresser with a mirror, and one single nightstand. Now, I'm not crazy about getting single nightstands because they don't sell that well. Usually matching pairs sell way better. This is where the story gets interesting. I refinished the single nightstand, and on the day I was applying the top coat, I came across another nightstand on Facebook Marketplace that was very similar in style to the one I had just refinished. It was listed by a lady who lived in Toronto, and she was trying to sell it and a matching headboard. I contacted her and said I was interested in that I had a nightstand that looked very similar, and I was interested in purchasing hers so that I could make a matching pair. We went back and forth chatting online, and finally she got back to me and said, "Oh, I've decided mine is in too rough shape. I'll just give it to you if you want to come and get it." So I hopped into my truck, headed to Toronto, and picked it up. You'll see it a little later on in the video how closely it matches the original nightstand I got. Talk about finding a needle in a haystack. I think I was pretty lucky. You can see me reaching over here in the background, putting some stripper on one of the drawers. I decided to try the stripper out in the drawer, but I knew that the finish on the top was failing pretty badly, so scraping it would be a fairly, easy way of taking the finish off. So that's what I opted to do for the top. When using a scraper very close to the edge of veneer, you have to be super careful scraping. You not only have to position your scraper in such a way that it's not going to pull away the edge banding on the side of the piece. You also have to go fairly lightly so that you're not digging into the piece and creating like new dents or impressions in the wood. With practice, you can get fairly good at it and make very few mistakes, but at the beginning, it can be a little bit of a challenge. Just use a light touch, I would suggest, and go slowly. There was a piece of veneer that was a little loose around this edge of the nightstand, so I put a piece of tape on it just to reinforce a little bit and keep it on there and make sure that the blade of the scraper didn't pull off the piece of veneer. A few clips ago, I was being very careful with the top edge of the veneer. Now I'm doing the edge banding, and I'm going on an angle just the same way, being very careful not to lift the top edge up. There was a few small repairs I had to make to the veneer on this nightstand. This one here on the side had a piece of veneer missing, but the piece was in the drawer, so I had it to glue back on. Right here I'm just dry fitting it to make sure that it fits properly and is sitting flush before I actually add the glue, and you'll see me add the glue in a minute. My next step is to tape around the black feet because I'm going to paint them with coal black paint in Fusion Mineral Paint just to freshen it up and make it look nice. I'm using a playing card here to protect the veneer on the curved part of the wood so that when I drag the sandpaper down on the other part of the wood, it's not going to put scratch marks in the rounded veneer. I'm using General Finishes Antique Walnut to stain the wood that's around where the drawers go in. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's a much lighter wood than the walnut veneer that's on the side of the nightstand. And I'm staining it so that it will match a little closer in color to the veneer. And I'm not staining the veneer, I'm just putting Odie's oil on that. So that's my solution. Just a reminder that if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the little MCM Redo logo in the lower right hand corner of the screen. Thanks. This one's in a little rough shape compared to the first one. It also appears to be in a different species of wood. It doesn't have the burled fronts that my other nightstand has. Still pretty. A lot more dings and a lot dirtier. Now this clip from my phone shows you truly how grubby the inside of the drawers were. And they were all like this. I am so pleased with this repair here, although it probably doesn't look like a repair right now. This whole area here, this was totally cracked. It was a huge crack and it followed all the way down here and went up here. Someone tried to put two little nails to repair it, which of course didn't work. So I expanded the crack and injected wood glue and clamped it all. And now it's nice and flat. This was all bowed before, out like this. It was bowed. Now it's all nice and flat. And it's rock solid. It's not moving. Before, when you put your thumb in there, the whole thing practically came off. So it's nice and sturdy now. It's that time in the video where we take a look back at what I started with. A beautiful 78-year-old burled walnut nightstand in need of a refresh, and an equally old nightstand in the same style but with a different veneer came together by a stroke of luck to make a pair that will hopefully live together as a set for another 78 years. And that's my happy ending.